Also, his guy McVay returning to coaching after allegedly turning down $20 million a year to call Thursday Night Football for Amazon. Hey, shout out to McVay. I appreciate you.
Yeah, for real.
Sean.
Hey, I appreciate you a lot, Sean. I appreciate this information coming out too. Like, that's a great piece of information for everybody else, including the Los Angeles Rams. He turned down 20 M's to do 15 games. I think I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 15 games, $20 million he turned down to come back and coach and run it back. Obviously, leverage is being used right now with what Amazon was offering for Sean McVay and his agent to get a new contract with the Los Angeles Rams, because last year he was paid shit. I think next year he was supposed to be paid shit. And by shit, I mean he's living good. He's like 25 years old, and I understand that. But in comparison to other coaches and what he's getting paid and the outcome in which they have already reached, I mean, he's going to get broken off as a coach. That's a massive decision. Can't wait to hear why Schrags thinks he did that. In the second hour, Sham Sharania will join AJ Hawk, myself, and the boys over here. And then in the third hour, we'll have Dana White. I mean, this is a wild time to be alive. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Your guy, Sean McVay, said, we have no picks. Why in the hell would I go to Indianapolis, especially after the entire world just found out that I turned down $20 million a year to call 15 Thursday Night Football games? I just won a Super Bowl. My new contract's up. Why would I go to Indianapolis? Is that what McVay's thinking, or am I reading this wrong, and is this a trend for the future?
I think it's more that his NFL season ended on Valentine's Day, February 14th, and he got rated. 8 coaches were taken from him. So now he has to hire all these new coaches. They're behind the 8 ball. And really, this doesn't come from Sean, but there's multiple head coaches in that tweet that are not going to be there. I'm not at liberty to say which one. It's nothing top secret. I just don't think they would love me advertising, hey, this guy's not going to be there, and the fan base have a thing. You'll figure out which ones aren't there. But one of them told me off the record that, you know, it becomes a socializing event for a lot of the coaches, and then they get to the drills, and everyone's hungover, and we're watching it, and it's all the same stuff that we can watch. The scouts and the GMs, those guys have to be there. Like, you need to look at these guys apples to apples. There's still great value. The medicals are incredibly important, and trust me, the entire Rams medical staff will be there. The interviews are important, but all of it's on tape, all of it's on film. And in Sean's case, I think he was going to come in for one day, and then he hit me up yesterday, and he's like, I'm not coming in it. I've got to get working on actual game plans for next season and working with these new coaches.
Yeah.
Doing it in Indy is no different than us doing it here. Everything can be virtual now. So McVay, they do things differently in LA, and he's basically the first coach coming out and saying, like, I'm a head coach, I'm not going to the combine.
Yeah, and that's definitely what McVay's thinking. Yeah,
I
gotta put together a game plan.
Week 1's right around the corner.
Oh, man, that's what he's saying. No, I mean, you know, he's got a new coach's contract right around the corner, just won a Super Bowl. It is a very short offseason because of the Super Bowl. He does have to put together his game plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he lost a week.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you waste another one looking at the future of the NFL?
Can't do that.
No, but I'm on your side here. And I didn't get invited to the Combine, but everybody that I've talked to that's gone to the Combine is like, it's a miserable situation. Then you talk about every coach that I've talked to at the Combine has basically said, it's fucking worthless. Like, we don't see anything. But then the scouts, the GMs, you talk to them about the Combine, they're like, oh, it's the greatest thing of all time. We get a chance to really analyze every single thing that we thought we saw on film and on tape. I think that is the trend of the future, Schrags. And that's why I don't think McVay is going to be the first one. Now, McVay coming back, though, to coaching was interesting because everybody thought maybe we have the next Madden here. You know, short-lived career, very successful, all in. Everybody loves him. Seems good to be a media darling on Flying Coach with you. Him coming back to coach. I thought he was just saying, I'm coming back to run it back drunk, you know, like drunk words. I thought, I'll regret this tomorrow. But he had 20 mil on the table from Amazon. He was flirting with potential retirement, and then he still came back. What do you think it was? Because they won, or was any of that real?
No, everything I say with Sean becomes taken as gospel, so I have to be careful with it because we do talk a lot, and the $20 million thing did not come from him, and I'm not sure if Amazon formally made any offers. I do know that once Troy Aikman took a deal, you know, roughly $18 million a year from ESPN, dominoes started to fall, and Sean was obviously the target, and there was conversations to be had. At the end of the day, though, speaking with him, while he was talking about these possible ideas, like, isn't that crazy? On the back page of the New York Post with a headline saying insanity about the money that I'm being offered for football, he was also talking with Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator at Kentucky, and telling him to uproot his life and come and be his offensive coordinator at the Rams. And he was recruiting 7 other coaches to leave good situations. to come. So in the back of my mind, knowing Sean, I was like, is he really going to have Liam Cohen leave Kentucky and leave $1 million deal to come to the Rams for him not to be the coach? Is he really going to ask a lot of these men to leave good situations to be coaches? So I was curious. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of it had to do with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and the fact that he created a market unintentionally for himself. So when you're an NFL head coach, you can't be a free agent. You're under contract, and it's usually you get the extension or whatever. Suddenly, Amazon and maybe Fox and whoever else was knocking on the door, suddenly there was a market for Sean. That's new. Coaches don't usually have markets where there's multiple suitors where you can go back and say, hey, there's money in hand. You have to match me. So I don't think it was very dramatic with the Rams. I think on Friday when Schefter put that tweet out, I think this was a couple weeks in the works. And once Amazon came in, it kind of accelerated things. He's going to be paid very handsomely from the LA Rams, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to be their coach. And I think he enjoyed the thought of being courted, and I think he liked the thought of someday being a head coach, but he wasn't leaving Stafford, Kupp, and Donald, not yet.
How about him getting $12 million a year to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams?
Wow, that's a lot.
That seems, hey, Pat, that seems awfully modest if you're asking me.
Hey, how about Sean McVay making $20 million a year for the Los I'm joking. Congrats to Sean, though, by the way.
If he needs a second home, he can buy one now.
Congrats to Sean. He deserves it, by the way. The guy deserves it. He's had success. He also has a franchise, a program that'll go all in around him. So I'm happy he's taking advantage of that. And whenever he decides to get into TV, we will all be very grateful, I think.